Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Um,
Change.
get ready to record this. Okay, recording's going. I'm going to give it just a few minutes because I know a couple people were jumping on today. And then we'll get going from there.
Change my name. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. Weird.
Looks like a password.
Yeah, something funky.
I do love that ladder in your
Oh, thanks. I just moved my office downstairs, so
oh,
testing something out.
I'm going to figure out how to share my screen. Always my hard thing, right?
There we go.
Large. Whoa. Okay. Give just a few more minutes. Or another minute or two and people will jump on. That's why we record these, right?
Yeah.
Everyone else's May is going like mine. Everybody's crazy. Oh.
How was the axe throwing, Kristen?
Oh, it was so good. It was so fun. We sold out and then some, and it was a lot of fun.
Fun. So
I
fun.
I didn't get to throw any axes because I pinched a nerve in my shoulder, but right before it. But
How many people come to the event, Kristen?
this was our first year, and we had about 80 people.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
No, it
Wow.
was a good time. So
Really fun.
yeah, we'll see. Next year we're gonna tweak it just a little, do it earlier in May. I wanted to do it on DIPG Day, which being a Sunday, it was great this year, but
Yeah.
next year it would be a Monday, and it's hard with graduations now this time of year. So
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I think I'm gonna push it to like the very first weekend of May. And nobody's graduating yet. So
And it's not Mother's Day.
it's not Mother's Day.
We were out at the Chad Tough Gala and it was Mother's Day weekend, but they were saying they have to change next year. They're pushing it back a week to May 1st because of graduation from Michigan. The Michigan, they're so hooked into the Michigan world, and Michigan's graduation is that weekend of Mother's Day, so they're going back a week.
Yeah, next year is going to be weird because graduations are going to be very early.
Yeah.
So we'll just see. I don't want to push it into April because Mary's birthday is kind of the last weekend of April, and I do my own thing for that. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's fair.
we will get started and see when people pop on. If they're like me, I looked at the clock and I was like, oh, it's 1 o'clock. I'd be watching it tick down, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, it's that time. Okay, well, welcome everyone to Beyond the Diagnosis, May of 2026. We've been doing this for over 6 months now. This is amazing. So, we'll be recording this for everyone to rewatch, and these are always up available for you to watch. So first up, when I'm better, couldn't be here because of work schedules, but we recorded last night all her information. So I'm going to press play and let it play and share.
Yep, it can be a little louder.
As loud as I can get it. Shoot.
I think there is a setting. Where if you're sharing.
Yeah, I'm at full volume.
Financially, obviously, this is a huge burden for almost all families. I was very fortunate to have a family that could help us, but I found out that that was not the case 99% of the time. So we started the foundation. Ben used to always say, when I'm better, I'm going to play Minecraft. When I'm better, I'm going to give you a hug. When I'm better, I'm going to wrestle my sisters. And I found that a lot of families I spoke to said their kids would say that constantly, and it broke their hearts because we know that that's never going to happen. So it just
Oh, sorry.
popped in my head one day to call it When I'm Better. And his little, I'm sure a lot of families do this, but his profile is part of our logo. And so our goal our mission is to help families in the fight. The way that it's written is a third of our donations will go to research, a third of it goes to families in the fight, and a third of it goes to awareness. We're working all of that out. I mean, we're in our second year, so I feel like that's been consistent. The first year, I believe we helped families with about $25,000 in family grants and paying bills, and then we were able to fund I cannot remember which one it was exactly because it was the first year after you passed, but at Children's National, we funded a trial there that used focus ultrasound. We did, I think, $30,000. And then this past year, we were able to help families in the fight with over $30,000, and we donated $50,000 to another focused ultrasound trial that is getting ready to be approved, come up for approval for the FDA. And that uses the CAR-T and focus ultrasound, which is what Finn did a lot of the focus ultrasound studies. And in the 90s,
sorry, I had to admit someone.
my grandfather actually did some of the very first gene therapy and lived another 20 years after being diagnosed with renal cell carcinoma stage 4. So it was kind of like, wow, this is going to, take what my grandfather went through and was able to survive another 20 years and what these kids have to go through. Anyway, it was kind of neat. So that's essentially what we do. Right now, I'm really into helping the families in the fight. Maryland families, we've written a policy that local families of Maryland get $3,000 family grants. And then outside of the Maryland community, we try to do about $1,000. I mean, obviously, we will do more if it's really necessary for, especially funeral expenses, I find are pretty expensive, ridiculously expensive. But yeah, that is essentially what When I'm Better is doing. And thank you.
Awesome. Are there any age restrictions?
So there are no age restrictions. We did not write it like that. I mean, adults facing true DIPG, which to my knowledge, and I get on Facebook and get a little confused, but I feel like the science is showing that true DIPG is H3K27M mutation. So if those adults have that, then absolutely we will support them however we can.
Okay, and so it has to be DIPG, DMG with the H3K27 mutation.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, yes. I would say adults, we might be a little bit more specific with that. Children, there was a child here. He was an adult, 19-year-old. We've had 4 in a year that had DMG, DIPG here in Maryland. In the county, we had 4 in 1 year. Oh. And Stephen, I looked at his pathology report his mom sent me, and he did not have H3K27M, but she still identifies as DIPG, and we never have written that in our policies. Mm-hmm. So there's always room for that, but there are no age restrictions, and I think with adults, though, it would be good to clarify if they have true, pediatric DIPG. So So I guess there's like room.
Perfect. And I'll put up your website for people to be able to get on to contact you as well. I guess contact you directly, social workers.
We have the form where you can seek help, and it just comes straight to me. And then I can always, if people come there but don't come to you, Kristen, or Bree, whoever, then I put it in our little group text.
Perfect.
So,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Awesome.
So that's Carrie. Sorry, Carrie, Finn's mom, started When I'm Better. They do help nationally, with a focus on Maryland. So, definitely if anyone has a Maryland kid, send them to them, because they do a lot of help, there. We have, sorry, oh my goodness. We have Jen with us, who's here from Magic for Maddie. So do you want to share anything, or do you want me to just keep this up here with your info?
No, I wasn't planning to share anything, so you can keep that up. That's great. Yeah.
Perfect. I'm gonna mute myself and let you go for it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Kristen, for having me here. I should start when Maddie was first diagnosed. So Magic for Maddie. My name's Jen. I'm Maddie's aunt. Maddie's mom, Nora, is my sister. And when Maddie was first diagnosed, you Google DIPG, and a friend of mine sent me Mary's story. So Mary was such an inspiration to us. It was February of 2022. And so the, CAR T was so huge. And, the fact that she was doing it so good for so long was a really, really big inspiration. So sort of a come full circle moment, to sit here with you now. So thank you for all that you've done to pave the way for us, and honestly to give us so much hope when Maddie was fighting was huge. So like I said, my name's Jen Capshaw. I'm Maddie's aunt, and my niece Maddie was diagnosed in February of 2022 with DIPG. I worked for Dana-Farber for years and in fundraising, and I never knew that there were some cancers that had a 0%, near 0% survival rate. And that's having worked in the industry. So it was shocking. And when Maddie was fighting, my sister immediately stopped working, and her husband essentially stopped working to care for Maddie full time. And we knew how lucky we were to be able to financially carry that weight. She did a clinical trial. We're from Massachusetts. She did a clinical trial in Philadelphia, and we were able to go to Disney and give her sort of the best of everything for 10 months. But we know that other families aren't as fortunate, and that became very quickly obvious. Also for us with, the loss of income and the travel and trying to cram a lifetime of memories into 10 months, we set a fundraiser, and we said, we're going to call it Magic for Maddie. And it really, the goal was to raise money, but it was really for Maddie and for my sister and the family to feel the community support, right? Because there was such magic around Maddie and in championing her and lifting her up. And so that became really important to all of us too. So we did the first event, and it was a insane community outpouring. We had 2,000 people show up, raised a ton of money, and tragically, after Maddie passed away on New Year's Eve, pretty early into 2023, we said, we really want to carry this forward, right? We were so lucky, and we know that we were so lucky to be, how can you be lucky, right? You're lucky in an unlucky club, but we were lucky to be able to have the resources to support Maddie as she went through this unimaginable nightmare. And so we felt like it was really important to carry her legacy forward, and also to give back to other families. So we started Magic for Maddie, and I pulled up a few of our numbers, but our mission is threefold. So we say we fuel research, we help families in the fight, and we impact locally. We've sort of gone different ways in the past, but primarily right now, we funnel all of our research through Chad Tough. And so we're a research co-funder with Chad Tough. We're also a navigator partner, and just sponsored the gala with them. So primarily all of our research money goes to Chad Tough. In terms of foundations, helping families in the fight. So we do both. Locally, we support families, and that's in Massachusetts and most of Connecticut. So locally, we support families of all childhood cancers, right? So it doesn't have to be brain cancer. It doesn't have to be DIPG. And that's specifically in Western Mass, but also in those outlying areas of Massachusetts and Connecticut. last year, I'm just looking at some of our numbers. Last year, we supported 32 area families, and we gave out $81,000 in that sort of local bubble. Nationally, we support DIPG families, DIPG, DMG, and we do that both through sort of the formal channels with Live Brave Together. We do it informally with a network of families, connecting with Noah Brave and a lot of other families in that regard, Live Gray's Way, and too many to mention. But last year, through that, Magic for Maddie was able to support 60 families battling DIPG, and I think it was close to 45,000 that we gave for that. And then the third pillar of our mission is to impact locally, and that's in Western Mass. We try to give back to the community that helps us raise the money. So we give to nonprofits in Western Mass that sort of align with our mission. And that's a lot to take in, but that's what we do.
Fantastic. So are there age restrictions for people that are applying, or?
You know, we don't have formal age restrictions. You know, we've definitely done 19, 20, 22. We haven't crossed, 30 plus per se. We take everything on a case by case basis and go and have the flexibility to be able to go to our board with those requests.
Awesome. And I know you guys have your own application and you take other people's as well, because I know you've taken ours before and helped our kids, and we appreciate
yeah, working with you guys and working through that informal network is, as long as somebody in the community has sort of verified them. We do have one, but we just go with our partner organizations as well.
Awesome. And is there any other things you look at when an application comes through for aid, or?
No, I think that the biggest thing for us is really, if we supported that family in the past, and then also the local angle, we just hear it more. Certainly if there's a DIPG family we have right now 3 families in Western Massachusetts that have been battling. So, those families, we of course, being so close in that diagnosis, try to support to the maximum level. But other than that, we're pretty flexible and look at everything on a case by case basis as well.
Awesome. And it's just DIPG DMG, correct?
Nationally, it's just DIPG. Yes, nationally, it's just DIPG DMG. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. I just want to clarify that for everyone. So up on the screen, we've got magicformaddie.com is the website. magicformaddie@gmail.com is the email to send out. If you lose that, you're always welcome to just contact me and I can get them to you. So thank you for jumping on and doing that. I will also share this with you as well, so you can share it out to anyone you want to.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a little housekeeping. Mark Jr., which puts on this with the Children's Brain Tumor Foundation, is turning 18 years this May 29th. We've been around. So we are doing just a little Panda Express fundraiser nationally. If anyone is interested, I'll also send out that information. That's kind of how we afford to be able to do all these. And then the next meeting will be June 16th. June 16th, we will just have one presenter, but they're going to be presenting on a new technology for kids in radiation to help ease all of the anxiety. So, and it's an international company. So please feel free to invite any social workers, any nurses, any doctors, any hospital administrators that might be interested in learning about this. It's called Radflix. It's in a few hospitals in the United States. It's in one in Canada now. It's ran through the Morgan Adams Foundation, but it's its own company through them. And the technology actually allows the kids, and Mary used it here in Colorado. Colorado was the first place to get it. Where the kids can watch a movie during radiation. So the screen is right above their head, and they've created it so the beams can go through, and it doesn't stop the beams from doing what they need to do, but the kid can watch any show they want during it. For brain radiation, that's not really possible without this technology. They'll try to kind of put it on the wall or on the ceiling, but they don't get it that close and machines in the way and all that kind of fun stuff. And the scary machine is what they don't want to see. So I'm really excited for them to be able to come on and share Radflix technology, trying to get it in as many hospitals that support children that we can, because it does make a huge difference. It stopped Mary from having to go under sedation for radiation, which gave us so much more time. And Mary did radiation 4 times, and 3 of those she did a week. Even once yelling at me that she didn't want to get off the board because her show wasn't over. So it really is a great technology. So please share it out with everyone. We'll keep sharing these after we record them, but we definitely want everyone to know that there's something out there that can really help the kids when they're having to do this. Awesome. Well, have a great rest of your May. Happy Brain Tumor Awareness Month. I know it's kind of weird to say that, but you know, spread the awareness, and we'll see you all next month.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Kristen.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
And I will connect you with that mom from Archer
Perfect.
Foundation. Yes, sounds good.